And there we go, the microphone is on. Welcome everyone, glad to have you all on board. And happy Friday to everyone. It is Friday, June the 2nd of 2023. And glad to have everyone here. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching a VolcanoX live stream. And welcome on board. We'll see what's going on. I've been working all day, so I have no idea what really transpired in our volcano world. But we'll find out together, and we'll take a look at good stuff. Thank you for the welcomes from everyone there, and that is Kevin and Philomena and Sue and Claire, and I see we've got a bunch of mods in here. Awesome. And thanks Johnny there as well. So good to have everyone on board. Let's get things rolling. We'll say hello to the moderators first, and that is Arizona Snowman and Piggy and CND Boy and Gary 24/7 Live VZ Skies, all of which were in the channel or in the stream already. So all good. And the other ones that may make appearances are Joseph Fields, Texas, Lucas Snow, and possibly Mona Lisa Smiles. Piggy goes to the lurkers. Okay, Piggy, and good to have you on board. And let's see, first person in today was Perfectibility 999. Actually, the first person in today was Arizona Snowman, but since moderators are not really set for getting the cookies, we gave Arizona Snowman a stack anyway. But Brian gets the cookies today, so congratulations, Perfectibility 999. And all good. And let's get at saying hello to everyone, and we'll start out by saying hi to, well, we got Brian already, and welcome Kevin Haynes and Dan and Johnny Gonzalez, and Henry Nelson is here, in and out at a wedding, enjoying himself. Claire Shipman is also here. Sue Hayes is here. Philomena is here. Welcome. Hank is here. And let's see, Mariano, welcome. And I got Johnny already. Okay, going up. Kate is back. Welcome, Kate. And let's see, Kevin is here. Henry is here. Yep. Dan we got. All right, scrolling up, looking for other names that I haven't said hi to yet. A lot of chatting going on, but hey, that's what the chat is for, so we don't mind that at all. Okay, we got Johnny, we got Henry. Still scrolling up, I see Michael Olson is also here. Welcome, Michael. And we got Dan already. And still scrolling up. Grandma B is in the house. Welcome, Grandma B. Glad to have you on board. And let's see, who else we got in here? Still scrolling, going upward on the list. We got Sue, we got Brian, yep. And I'm up as far as I can get. So that is awesome, and we'll go back down to the bottom, see who else I didn't get. Yeah, we got Hank, that's all good. And maybe some people that are hiding and lurking and doing things. Having cookies in the lurkers lounge, maybe. I have no idea what they're doing. Anyway, I figured I'd change our background lava a little bit, and of course I put the Siggy Fisher eruption on, and I don't even recall what day that was. Let me take a look. That was the August 7th of last year, so that is when that came from, and that looks pretty cool. You might have already seen the secret volcano. Should be real easy today. And I think most people, when they see it, they will know it. If they haven't seen it already, we will show it here in a second. We'll pause this. And yeah, then we will actually close that. There's the secret volcano. We'll get rid of that other thing here. Give me a second. There. And we'll get rid of that banner. No guessing yet. You can save your guessing for later. After bacon seeds. Anyway, yeah, thanks, Bob. I wish I could have taken it myself. It would have been quite an adventure all the way over there. You know, it is. Thanks, Sue. And you thought I was going to say the name of where it is, but I snuck that in there just to be, never mind, be a bad guy. Oh, I like it though. It's a pretty picture of a volcano, and it's doubled caldera, which is kind of really cool. We're fixing a fox trickery on him, Sue. Oh no, you're not. You're not fixing or trying a fox trickery. It's not gonna work. No fox trickery allowed. Looks like a moon crater. Wow, Gary, you might be right. I didn't say it was on Earth, did I? Oh, anyway, let's. We said hi to everyone, so we'll leave that be. Let's get over to our other stuff, and of course, first place that we're going to take a peek at is in Hawaii. So let's turn off this wonderful moonshot crater. Oh, hey, why is that still on? There we go. That's better. That's what we wanted to look at. Of course, that's our wonderful Helema-Uma'u crater, and that is in Kilauea in Hawaii. We still see it smoking here from the west vent, the west lava pond, and of course that area over here on the southern side of the crater. And we also see a little bit of a smoke floating across here every once in a while, and some shadows of the clouds. There's some smoke from the southeast lava pond. I'm surprised that that is still smoking over there, but hey, it is what it is. Well, let's not spend too much time here. Let's take a look at some of the other shots. This one, of course, is from yesterday, or late yesterday. I took that screenshot. This normally you'd see the southeast lava pond over here, and the west vent, west lava pond, west vent. And I think that's our little glow spot over there, the one that shows up on the thermal. And of course you see these down on the front center bottom, you see some glow spots as well. And that is interesting, and it's still glowing, so telling us that there is hot magma underneath there, or lava, and that is pretty cool. Lonely in the Lurkers says what? Says stuff jumping on. Arizona's a recliner. That's better. Awesome. There you go, Piggy. You'll feel comfy there. Anyway, I'm going to refresh this one. There's what it looks like in daylight, and you can see the southeast lava pond without lava, of course. Central vent, and of course down here where that smoke is emanating from, that is where we're seeing the southern glow spots. And then of course here you have your other activity from the west vent and the west lava pond. That's just full of smoke today. I don't know why. It just loves it, I guess. This, of course, was from yesterday. I'm going to refresh this, and there we go. That is our latest thermal image, and again, very hard to make out for some people, but this area out here where the mouse is going around, that's our southeast lava pond. Unfortunately, we can't see the south side there because of the angle of the camera. And there's a Pig Island, the west lava pond, west vent be here. And if we scroll down just a little bit, there you can see that a hot spot that's still there. I'm really surprised, you know, considering straight underneath that there is solid rock. If you go down, I don't know how far down, 10 to 20 meters maybe, but the rock is angled there, and that would have been the edge of the caldera that it's actually sitting on, not on top of a vent. So kind of cool, kind of interesting. We'll leave that be though. We always keep an eye on it. Let's go over to our next place of enjoyment and fulfillment of things that are happening. And of course, that is our wonderful Iceland. And let's get over there. And there we go. That is a kind of a nice and better view. It's 25 minutes after 2300 or 11 p.m. So 11:25 p.m. and it is still that light outside. That is pretty awesome. And anyway, you can see trees have grown a bunch here already with lots of leaves on them. We can actually see the mountains in the background, a little bit better visibility. Last few days have been horrible as far as that weather, and I think that is pretty nice. Let's go back about 10 hours, well, 9 hours and 25 minutes, 9 hours, 30 minutes. There we go. A little bit more fog in there still, so it must have moved out shortly after we had that time. So that's about 2 p.m. right there, or just about. That's what we're seeing. Hey, Tetra is here. Welcome, Tetra. And Kevin Haynes also on board. Welcome. I think we're good with names there for right now. Let's make this one smaller again, put it back on live. We'll go over to the next shot. This one, of course, is from the Perlin Center, and so is this shot of the regional airport. And of course, if you go to the right side here, that's the stuff we were just looking at. This, of course, is right now, and we do see Kalir over here, way off in the distance. So that little pyramid-looking thing, that is a volcano. And let's back that up about, I don't know, we'll go 10 hours roughly. And there it is. Really not that much different, except for you couldn't see Kalir. A little less visibility. But still not bad for a regular day there in Iceland. We'll put that back on live. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. We'll go to our next shot. And this, of course, is from the Reykjanes Peninsula, right near the lighthouse. As a matter of fact, that road goes to the lighthouse right there. And the lighthouse would be just off to the right-hand side of our screen down on the bottom. Anyway, what we're seeing at present is the vent of off-gassing geyser, a geyser vent, steam. It's steam coming out of there. I'm tired, you guys, so if I make a mistake, don't panic. Just keep smiling. And of course, we see some venting going on from the power plant, a geothermal power plant. So all cool. Let's back that up about 9 hours or so, and we'll have a look at that. See what it looks like. Yep, looks like the wind was blowing the other way, and we do see the vent blowing in the opposite direction. Unfortunately, a little too cloudy to be able to see the houses of Grindavik off in the distance, or because that plume is in the way, we can't see Ragnar right there. Power plant's still in the same place. Nobody moved it, so that's all good. And that's about it for this one. I'm going to go put that back on live. That is the current shot. And you can actually see Ragnar in the background here. Not very well, but the little rise there, that is the top of Ragnar. Anyway, we'll make that one smaller. We'll go to our next shot. And the sun is setting out there. This is a Katla. You can see the outline of it, a pretty good looking volcano. But nothing happening there, unfortunately. It's just a big lump of ice sitting on top. And I want to see if we can go back just a tad to see a little bit more of that sunset there. That looks pretty awesome. And always like seeing, you know, volcanoes, sunsets, those kinds of things. Always beautiful sights. Anyway, that's what we've got going on there. Let's go back about... oh, I don't know, let's go 9 hours and 15 minutes. That seems to be a good spot. And we do see our volcano hiding underneath there. Well, we don't see the volcano. We see a pile of ice and snow compacted and sitting on top of an area that contains the volcano. And that, of course, is Katla. And of course you see people and birds and all kinds of things, so must be a nicer day there today, which is really awesome. Why are we not seeing the whole thing there? That is better. I was wondering about that. That looked a little funny. And we can see more of the people now and the birds and stuff. Pretty cool. So let's leave that one be. I know why it was, because I had this other screen set up just to mess with me. This is a slightly different angle of Katla, and that is what we're seeing there at the sunset time. Unfortunately, I can't move this one back any. It is a fixed frame, so all good. Let's make that one smaller again, and make sure the other ones are all small. There we go. Next place we're going to go is take a break. And it is that time. So I'm going to go take a break, a few minutes. My throat has not healed up. As you can probably hear, it's a little bit grumbly. Water level has gone down. Yes, Sue, it certainly did. And here I'll put that back on with the stuff there. All right, I'm going to put some music on, take a few minutes, and I'll be back. If you haven't yet hit that like button, give it a quick bop. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do consider subscribing if you feel we've earned it. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000. I'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away. Thanks. And there we go. The microphone is back on. Welcome and welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you on board. Hey, and Joseph Puderer is here as well. Good evening. Glad to have you here. Suzanne Stewart. Welcome, Suzanne. And that's going to be confusing. We got a Sharon Stewart and a Suzanne Stewart. Oh boy. Yeah, a confusion. Suzanne Stewart. Looks like a pretty darn new account too. May 14th. Just started, I suppose. And thank you for the welcome backs from Sue and Kevin and a Wonky Donkey is here. Trevor saying welcome back, old master of lava. And thank you, Claire. Awesome, you guys. And let's get at things, and we'll get over to our harmonic tremor chart. And there's for a Fragile Fjord. I'm going to have a sip of Pepsi, and we'll try to go through these. There we go. All right. First thing you'll notice is these interesting spikes. And spikes usually indicate earthquakes. And we like earthquakes because they usually tell us that there's something happening down in the ground. And could be magma related, but seeing what we've got here, an uptick to about half of the way during the day, and then it dropped back down as far as our magmatic frequency. Our seismicity kind of followed suit with it, but dropped a little bit further. And of course we are seeing kind of a similar reaction from our tectonic frequencies here. So all in all, I think whatever we're seeing is mostly related to a tectonic movement, but the fact that we're seeing so many quakes in the area is also very interesting. Could have something happening. What happens if the glacier melts off Katla? Well, first thing that's going to happen is we are likely going to see some earthquakes there. First, I don't think it's going to melt off of there because that is literally hundreds of years of ice is sitting on top of Katla. But it will, if it does melt, we'll see some quakes because the weight differential will allow some movement. And then things will happen from there. I don't think it will erupt right away, if that's what you're asking. I'm moving this to the ASCII chart, and that one is really messed up. Everything seems to be right on top of each other. And as you can see, our magmatic frequency, the purple is kind of in the middle there, peaked up a little bit and dropped back down. And the green, very difficult to tell, but it dropped further. That's our seismicity. And then the blue frequencies here is our tectonic movement. And yes, we have some quakes in that area as well. So we'll have to take a look. But again, you know, seeing what we're seeing, I'm thinking we equate that to tectonic movement. And again, I say that with a bated breath because you never know. Volcanoes are able to do weird things at times. Going a little further north, we do see the chart for Grimsey, our furthest northern point there. That is the island of Grimsey and just off the northern shores. And we do see kind of the same thing what we've seen at Fragile Fjord, a rise and then a drop in magmatic frequency, and not so much of a rise in our seismicity, but still we are seeing some action in there, although it'd be a little bit easier. Oh, whoever asked that question is hidden. Oh, okay. I wonder. That is Suzanne Stewart is what the name is on there. And I don't know, they may have you blocked there. I'm not sure because that's a fairly new account and I didn't notice. It did show up for me, so it's not hidden on this end. She is not visible. Okay. Not visible to you. All right. Sue, got it. Okay. A C&D boy did see. All right. Somehow, some way, and not visible to Sue Hayes. All right. Anyway, we're seeing this here, and we'll leave that be. I'm thinking what we're seeing here is some tectonic movement, but not a heck of a lot. The next chart, Grindavik, and of course we see that is quite low. Okay, and Dan doesn't see Suzanne either. I don't see her. Okay, thanks, Kate. Me neither from a wonky donkey. All right, so something going on there. That is odd. And maybe a troublemaker. I have no idea. Anyway, that is what we're seeing in Grindavik. Grindavik, of course, to the southwest of our wonderful Fagradalfjall area. And the next place we're going is to the northeast of Fagradalfjall, and that is our wonderful Krusavik. And let's see what the chart looks like for it. And there we go. There's a Krusavik. We can see the same up and down motion with our magmatic frequency. The same kind of an affair with our seismicity, the green one. And these spikes, we do see some heavy ones there as well. And that is what we've got right now there. So let's pop over to earthquakes. I'm going to scroll this back up to our Fagradalfjall and get going from there. And let's see. Where are we? One more? Two more. There it is. All right, I will leave it on there, and we will go over to our earthquakes and share this with you. So there are 89 earthquakes in the last 24 hours. And we do see the activity up here near Grimsey, which is pretty standard. And we see some around our wonderful Askja. But we also see a little bit here at Katla, nothing major though. But what I'm liking is we're seeing a whole bunch here on the Reykjanes Peninsula. And that is always more fun. Let's grab these ones out here first. The 0.7, 5.8 kilometers down at 1711. And the other one is from 9:45 a.m., a 1.8. And that is a 1.1 kilometer down. And of course, this is our Reykjanes Peninsula. And there you can see Reykjavik, capital city. And over here at Keflavik Airport, Keflavik, Reykjanesbær, and Jarvik. And if we go down a little bit here, we can see the town of Grindavik, and of course the Blue Lagoon. That is very famous, and there's your power plant beside it. So all cool. And if we go out here to the edge, and there's the lighthouse, and the camera would be right around here somewhere. So they had a very interesting little quake not very far away from it. Well, it is 7.2 kilometers underneath it, a 0.9 from 2325. That happened just not too long ago. Let's grab some of these, and we'll see. There's another 0.9, 800 meters down, 2257 is the time on that. A 1.3, 6.3 kilometers down, 2325 is the time for him. 2257, we had a 0.9, 6.5 kilometers down. and we'll start over here, work our way in. Actually, I should go there first. Magnitude 1, 6:55 a.m. and 5.7 kilometers down. 6:55, busy time, 0.97, 6.3 kilometers down. 0.3, 6 kilometers down, came in at 23:11. Then we've got a 0.6, 6.8 kilometers down at 23:25. And this is a 0.94, 5.7 kilometers down and 9:46 a.m. Next one, another 0.6, 23:25, 5.7 kilometers down, 1.7, and that is a 5.9 kilometers down, 23:44. 0.3 in magnitude, 5.2 kilometers down, 23:27. This one, 23:45 is the time on this 1.8, 5.5 kilometers down. Next one is a 0.2, 3.5 kilometers down, 23:18. 23:20, we had a 0.1, 4 kilometers down. A 0 from 4 kilometers down, 23:28. This guy here we already got, but we'll throw him in there. 0.9, 7.2 kilometers down, 9:25, and a 0.2, 3 kilometers down from 22:57. So we got everything there, I think. That 0.9, 800 meters down, 22:57. Getting a little closer to Grindavik over here, we see from 1533, a 0.4, 6.8 kilometers down. I doubt very much that anyone would have felt that. And then some older ones over here, that is a 0.2, and 9:29 a.m., 5 kilometers down for him. The other one is a 0.24, 5.7 kilometers down from a 9:39 a.m. Now, zooming out just a touch, you can see here the outline of this area. That, of course, is our Fagradalfjall area. And I'm very happy to see a bunch of quakes in there. This, of course, is the location of Ragnar, and this is the location of Siggy Fisher. Let's start at the top here. We see a 0.46. 6.1 kilometers down, and 10:06 is the time on that. 0.1 and 7.9 clicks down, 17:29. And right here at the Siggy Fisher, we see a 0.13, 13.2 kilometers down. That's quite deep for underneath there. And that is at 1:41. And next we've got a 0.32. 1.7 kilometers down, 6:11, and now we got to zoom in, see what all these ones are. A 0.23, 2.5 clicks down, 6 a.m. 6:02, we had a 0.56, and that's 2.6 kilometers down. Next is from 6:27 a.m. 0.43, 2.4 kilometers down. This one is from 6:23 a.m., 0.74, 3.2 kilometers down for him. And the larger one, a 1.82, 3.8 kilometers down from 6:28. And to wrap things up for there, as from 6:23 a.m., a 0.26, 4.2 kilometers down. We did have a couple more further down here. We're going to look at these. 0.39, 2.5 kilometers down, 7:26 a.m. 0.47, 3.5 kilometers down from 7:48. And this one here, a 0.02, 3.1 kilometers down, 8:15 in the morning. And that is for Fagradalfjall area. That's actually very awesome to see those quakes there. And we do like that. So hopefully we'll see more. Next near, there's a Kristevik right there, that little triangle, and that is a volcano. And this one, of course, a 1.9, 4.4 kilometers down, 2:49 a.m., 0.27, 4.4 clicks down as well. 3:23 a.m. Next one is a 3.7 kilometers down, and that is 38 minutes after midnight when that came in. Then we got a whole little stack here of 5 of them, 0.51, and that is 3.4 kilometers down, 13:11 or 1:11 in the afternoon. At 12:43, we have a 0.41, 3.4 kilometers down. Next is from 10:54, a 0.34, 3.7 clicks down. Next guy is from 2:52 a.m., a 0.99, 4 kilometers down. And this one, a 0.55, 4.6 kilometers down, 11:46. So I think I got them all there in that area. And then, of course, we see a little bit more of a batch over on the other side of the lake. And we'll go through those real quick. 0.26, 135 meters down, and that is a 2:44 in the morning. We've got a 0.83, 5.5 kilometers down from 3:24. 1:38, we had a 0.42, a 5.5 kilometers down for him. 0 came in at 3:31, and that's a 5.4 kilometers down. Seems to be a nice depth. And then we've got 2:43 a.m., a 0.47, 7.3 kilometers down. Next is the larger one out of the group, a 1.65, a 5.5 kilometers down, 2:42 in the morning as well. 3:21 a.m. we had a 1.4, 6.1 kilometers down. So that is what we've got so far up to that point. That's basically Reykjanes Peninsula. Let's take a look at some of these other ones that are kind of by themselves. A 0.4, 14.9 kilometers down, 11:16. That's very deep for that area. And 2:53 a.m. we had a 0.3. What is that? 3.7 kilometers down. Next is a 1.02, 4 kilometers down from 13:48. And then we've got 2 stacked up here. Let's take a look at that. 0.84, 8.4 kilometers down. Play on numbers there, I think. 6:15 a.m. Next one is from 14:57, a 0.89, 8.2 kilometers down for him. So that is what we got there so far. Let's have a look at this one. And that is from it's a 1.01 in magnitude, 4:07 a.m. And that is 2.9 kilometers down for that. Then over here, well, let's grab this little guy first. A 0.19, 2 kilometers down, 12:43. And then we've got a 1.5, 5.2 kilometers down underneath the ice pack there, 10:55 a.m. And the bigger one here, 2.09, that is a surface quake, likely ice movement. 4:40 this morning is when that came in. Sliding up a little bit more, we do see this one, and that is a part of Grimsvatn, came in at 2:51 a.m., and that is a 1.32. It is a Pepsi time, I think, but we'll just finish this one. And 3.6 kilometers down for him, and we'll grab this guy here too. 23:41, a 0.3, 4.2 kilometers down for him. And we'll come back from the break after bacon seeds, and we'll carry on with Askja, and then the stuff up here by Here the Bride, and we'll go from there, and we'll take a look at some of the other ones. So don't go anywhere. We are going to put you back on a canned lava. I'm going to go take a break. Aloha Kathy, and let's see who else snuck in while I wasn't looking. I think we're all good, and yep, I should be okay for now. All right, don't go anywhere. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel and you're liking the show, by all means, give it a quick bop. After the break, we're going to have bacon seeds. So everybody always likes bacon seeds. And then we'll carry on with the secret volcano, which is not that secret. And we'll see what's happening at the other end of Iceland when we come back. Don't go away. I'm your host, DrFox2000. Hang in there. Music. Cue the music. I cued it. All right, I'll be back. And the microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching a VolcanoX live stream. And let's see. Thank you for the welcome back, Sue. I'm going to have another sip of Pepsi since I'm trying to control my voice here, and I already feel it doing its thing. It's one of those things. I don't know if I'm trying not to take another day off for rest, but might have to somewhere along the way here. Anyway, Bob and Sue are good dancers. Yeah, apparently they burn up that floor every day. And thanks Kevin and Kate for the welcome backs. That's awesome. There I had my Pepsi quota. Well, that's never a quota. And let's pause our lovely lava. We do want to pause that, and we'll actually hide it for in the meantime. And we're gonna hide that archived footage as well. That's just a reminder, so you know what to look for the wonderful secret of volcano. Anyway, let's start out with some beautiful bacon seeds that Piggy sent us. And of course, Piggy is going to be heading to Rhodes on Sunday and seeing the doctor on Monday. So should be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully she'll be all good. But I have got a sneaky hunch we're going to see some a surgery for Piggy soon. Anyway, there's a Piggy. She still has her front trotter. Their front trotters are working perfectly, so that is not an issue. It's her back ones that are not so good. Anyway, there we go. That's her sending, and let's see the first one that she sent for today, and that is this little guy, and that is not a bad picture. Except for he moved his head right when they were snapping the actual shot. So pretty cool. I like that guy. And let's see what else we've got for bacon seeds. That guy's got like racing stripes. Yeah. Speedy Pig. All right. There's a little one. He has got some different kinds of markings. My chat is disconnected. My bit rate's still okay, but a chat got disconnected and reconnected. I hope nobody lost me there, and that should be okay. That's a cute little fella. Let's get on to the next one, and there's a one with a cell phone attached to his ear. At least that's what it looks like. He too has stripes. These must be Speedy Piggies today. And I don't think he's starving, that's for sure, looking at what we've got there. Next one on the list is this one. Welcome, Scott Hartman. Good to see you. And did I say thank you for the welcome backs to the other people there? I think a couple more said, we are 5x5. Okay, thanks, CND boy. We look forward to seeds, and thank Piggy. Yeah, Piggy is a real sport about getting those seeds out there. I think these three, though, after their romp in the field, do definitely need a hogwash. There is dirt on there. I do see that. So, yep, hogwash required for sure. And yep, three of them. And way to go, Kevin. You got them. And let's take a look and see what we've got for our next bacon seed shot. And that is this guy. He's cute. Look at the smile on his face. His ears are way up. He's got a gorgeous smile. I'm talking about the one in the middle. And he is just got a really cute look about him. The one over on the left-hand side there, I don't think he's too happy. He says, I don't want to be in this picture. Somebody's going to wash me. And the one in the background, of course, minding his own business. You don't see me back here. But yeah, I like that guy in the middle. He really is a little cutie. And big a smile on his face. And you gotta always enjoy when, you see an animal like that doing its thing. Although all three of them could eat a little bit more. And I think that otherwise they are pretty darn good looking. Let's go to this next shot. And wow, this is a pile up. I have no idea how many there are. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least 10 in that shot. So a pile of 10 pigs. That is interesting. Yep, that's a lot of pigs. A lot of little bacon seeds. And let's go to the next one. And we see this batch. This is another one that's smiling for the camera. You gotta love it when they do that. They smile, and I think they like the attention. I really do. This one does look a little wrinkly too, and he doesn't look so he's not malnourished, put it that way. So that is really awesome. Next, a bacon seed. Oh, this is cute. There's a mama throwing around the shaker, the feeding ball, and showing the little one how to play with it. And the little one is kind of sitting back. Oh, cool, Mom. Thanks. And that is neat. Gotta love that. A little snout bop. And we have one more bacon seed to go, so let's get to the last one. Mama knows best, you bet. She does. Here's our last bacon seed of shot for today. And I count 4 pigs, and they're all sleeping. They're being lazy and enjoying themselves. It's always nice when they pile up like that and just rest. So very awesome, and a big thank you to Piggy for sending us the bacon seeds all the time. And she has sent enough bacon seeds to last the week coming up, and till Friday anyway. So that's just in case she has to go in for surgery. And that is very awesome of her to do that and take the time to make sure that we're all covered. So very, very awesome. We'll leave our bacon seeds, and we will go back over to our mystery volcano. Now, I'm sure there are many people out there who know what it is. So I'm going to put it on the screen, and we'll let you guys guess away. Some of you may know it, and you never know. Maybe it'll take a little bit for someone to realize. Kevin Haynes, that didn't take long. Are you sure? Are you sure? I know. Mount Etna? No, Claire, it's not Mount Etna. It's Eruption, and it's not Kilauea. No, it's not Kilauea. It's Eruption. It definitely is Eruption. There is no question about it, and it is a lovely shot. And of course, Kevin gets the cookies. So we'll throw him a stack of cookies there. Kevin, there you go. And enjoy. And that is pretty cool. And when I seen this shot, I thought, yeah, it's going to be pretty easy for people guessing this one. But it's not so much about guessing what it is. It's the visual effect of this particular volcano that I personally like this, because you see the lava pond within the inner caldera, and then you have an external caldera, and that is always very cool to see. and I like that. Looks like it might be Messiah when the lake is full. Yeah, I don't know. Messiah though, Sue, Messiah is kind of when it gets up to that deep crater rim there, the first one, the closest to the lava pond, that actually that's leveled out though on the top. This one is actually protruding out a whole bunch, if you know what I'm saying. And then, of course, it is similar looking, but I think Messiah is still deeper than what this is by far. So, pretty cool. That Prete, they have they have a helicopter to land on in Kilauea today. The wind was too great at 2 pineapples. Oh, they were going to land a helicopter in there. I don't know if I'd want to land in there yet. I think I'd wait a little bit. The lava level underneath that is not very far down. Yes, Kevin, Messiah is indeed a lot deeper. Messiah, the bottom caldera, is somewhere around 230 meters. That's like 600 and some feet. You wouldn't want to fall in, put it that way. That's a little too far for my likings, and it's the walls are pretty much vertical. Well, this is not exactly any different than that. This is pretty straight up as well. And a rock sample, not in the center. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be cool, Kathy, if they can get some rock samples. That'd be pretty awesome. Anyway, let's get back at our other stuff. We were looking at the earthquakes there in Iceland, and we stopped just before getting to our Askja, and we'll finish that off real quick. And there is a 0.4 underneath the lake, 5.2 kilometers down, 11:17. A 0.03, 3.3 kilometers down from 58 minutes after midnight. A 0.7, 4.4 kilometers down from 17:28. 0.69, 2.8 kilometers down from 7:52. And 6:44 a.m. we had a 0.29. That came in at a depth of 4 kilometers. So that is what's underneath Askja, and of course that lake. You know, I was hoping we'd see that thing pop, but hey, it didn't. We've got this one, 1.4. That's to the northwest of Herdebreit, as you can see here, and really not any reason for it to be there, other than we're close to our fault line. Anyway, 1958, a 1.4, 10.5 kilometers down. Then we've got a 1.3, 7.6 kilometers down from 2005, and that's Herdebreit right here. So fairly close in distance. Let's go a little further north and see what these other ones are. 0.9, 1.1 kilometer down at 2007. Then we've got a 0.5, 5.2 clicks down, 2207 for him. 1.1, 5.2 clicks down from 1558. 0.9, 1.4 kilometers down from 2216. And 0.9, 5.9 kilometers down from 1813. We see the newest one there is a 1.4 from 2.8 kilometers down, 17 minutes after midnight on the new midnight. So that is pretty cool. And then we've got 1.04, 10 kilometers down, 30 minutes after the old midnight, since we're 1 day ahead there. This one 32 minutes after the old midnight, and 2.27, 10 kilometers down for him. Let's go grab this other one here. so we don't miss them. That is a 0.32. There we go. 7.3 kilometers down. 1527. Sometimes those words are getting mixed up. Got to try to relax a little bit, I think. 1.3, and that is 12.5 kilometers down, 1842. Next one, 1.68, 10.8 kilometers down, 925. 1.8, 14.3 kilometers down, and that is at 2105. Did I say 1.68 for him? Next is 0.8, 5.4 kilometers down, 1036. And then we've got a couple of ones here, 6.3 kilometers down, 1036 for him. 1652, another one in magnitude, and 5.2 kilometers down, another one in magnitude. 2238 is the time, 6.3 kilometers down. And then we've got a 0.92, 2.9 kilometers down, and that is from 1036. 2252, we had a 0.8, 5.2 clicks down for him. Let's grab the straggler up top here. A 1.15, 9.7 kilometers down, 7:09 a.m. And then we had this from 1347, a 1.17, 9.5 kilometers down. Next one is from 2113, a 1.9, 8.7 kilometers down. And then we've got a 1.5, 8.7 kilometers down from 1347. That's our quakes for today. I don't know. I don't think anything is really going to happen up there at Grimsey. We do see a lot of that action all the time. If we turn on the plate boundaries, you can kind of see where this is happening. You can see that plate boundary right there. And you see exactly where those quakes are happening, and pretty much all on that quake boundary, or very close to it. This one here, very close as well. And then as we go up, pretty much all the way through, they're not far off that plate boundary at all. And especially up here, where it kind of zigzags and goes up and sideways and then up some more. So pretty cool to see that, and we'll leave that there. Let's have a quick look. That there's what this heart at the bottom of the chat is so annoying. A heart at the bottom of the chat. I don't know if there is one. I don't see it on mine. It's only on my phone and my tablet. It keeps putting hearts up in the chat, and I have yet to see one there, Sue. I don't know what the heck is going on. Anyway, hopefully that'll go away. I have no idea why YouTube does some weird things once in a while. Let's go over to this place, and of course that is the island of St. George in the Azores. And of course the Azores are kind of a mid-Atlantic production there, and volcanic in nature. We are on the island of St. George, or São Jorge if you say it in Portuguese. And we do see the harbor lights all lit up over here, as well as one of the small towns. And then you can see some lights off in the distance. That is indeed Pico Island, and not that bad of visibility right now. We're not going to see too much whitewater movement here because our pumpkin has, or our carriage has turned into a pumpkin at 23:59. So we won't see much, but we do see a little bit there. And I did peek to see what it looked like there. It wasn't that bad, but hey, it is what it is. Looking here, we did have a quake there a couple days ago, but nothing new on St. George. I'm going to go to the other map here, make that a little bigger, and we will refresh that and see if we have anything new. Oop, and let's see, why is that? Oh, it doesn't love me today. All right, let's close the commercials, and we'll make that shot bigger. There we go. And it looks like, of course, we are not seeing anything here on St. George or Pico Island or Fingall Island. Today we have one here in Terceira, and that, of course, is the other volcano on Terceira Island, Terceira Volcano, and there it is 15 hours ago, 2.6, 2 kilometers down, reported at 9:22 GMT or UTC, whichever you like, and that is a pretty cool shot there. You can actually see where in the caldera it is, so that is pretty awesome. And as we slide down the East Azores fault, we see the next one, and that is a 2.4 surface quake, happened at 1847 today. And there's one more, and that is to the northern side as well, 2.0 from 4:44 a.m. GMT, if you like, or a UTC, and that is a surface quake as well for that 2.0. Zooming out a little bit to give you a better idea of the lay of the land, there is our land masses and so on. You see Portugal, Spain, France, England, and Ireland over here, and of course you've got Iceland there, and up here is Greenland, which is always icy. Should have been called White Land, and Newfoundland. And then, of course, Sue is over here at Cole Harbor waving at us, going, hey, hi, everybody. And that is pretty awesome. So let's leave that be, and that gives you a pretty good idea where that is. All right, next on our agenda will be commercials at Popocatepetl. How about we go over there and we'll turn our canned lava back on. How about that? There we go. And we'll turn that little other thing on so everybody knows it's archived video footage. And thank you, Sue, for waving. And let's go take a break, you guys. That is what I need to do. Definitely feeling it in my voice. So don't go away. Keep smiling. Be good. After the break, we will go take a look at Popocatepetl and work our way southward through Central America and South America and see what's happening there. On that friendly note, hit the like button if you haven't done that yet. Also, hit the subscribe if you're sitting in the Lurkers Lounge peeking in, and help us out grow the channel. On that note, I'm going. I'll be back. Don't go away. Thanks. And the microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. Hey, Hermione is here. Thank you for the welcome back. Psst, I'm here. Okay, we got you, Hermione, and thank you, Claire and Sue as well for those welcome backs. And time to get over to our wonderful Popocatepetl and see what the heck it is doing. We know that it's not as brilliant as it was a few days ago or a week ago. Things are slowing down there a whole bunch, so let's have a look. And there is a Popocatepetl. Well, it's not really calmed down a whole bunch, but it is a little bit easier than what it used to be. When we look at that, we kind of have to wonder exactly what is it doing. Earlier it was in kind of a messy cloud network, so hard to see, but still all pluming off the same direction that we don't really get a good look at it. And there it looked like it was a lenticular cloud building up around 5:22 in the afternoon. And this is what it was like earlier, so gives you a little bit of an idea. There's some thunder clouds up in the top here as well, and a cloudy day there for the most part. Then we get back a little bit further, the system looked a little better, and again you can still see it off-gassing fairly well, so that is all good, and we like that. If we go back, let's see if we can go back a little bit more, and just different snapshots. 8:38 this morning is that one. This one 7:49, and let's see if we can get into the golden times and see what it looked like when the sun was coming up, and that was at 6:07, looking pretty darn good. And if we go back a little bit more, we actually get back into nighttime views, or almost. That's back as far as it can go to 5:37 a.m. And it was busy all the way through. It really just put it back to current time, so that is a live shot. It's pretty awesome to see that. I did want to kind of show you from the other sides here. This is a little further back, and you can see how that off-gassing is blowing over in the other direction. And then if we look at the third view that we've got, that is this one, of course, and you can see it from the other side, and as that material is blowing downward, and there's the sun setting. So pretty awesome shots, photogenic volcano, and we like it. That should be pretty much live. Yeah, it is, and that is very cool. If we go back to earlier in the day on this shot, to give you a little bit more of an idea, this one actually goes back quite a ways, but let's see if we can get it to about here. That would give us some golden sunrise stuff. You can see the sunshine hitting the top of that caldera and lighting up the plumage. So pretty cool. Mona Alfano, welcome, and no worries. That should be better quality though. Yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, we're gonna put that one back on live as well. That is the current view with the neat looking sunset, and that is awesome. We'll make that smaller, go to the next shot here, and that one, of course, that's on a different angle. If we move that right to there, just a little bit back in time here, but that's okay. You can see how that material is popping out of there. Looks pretty awesome. We'll make that one smaller and go to the last one and get that one smaller as well. That is a nice shot, and there we go. And we'll go to our next volcano, and that is our wonderful Fuego. which is down in Guatemala. The other one, of course, is 70 kilometers south of Mexico City, whereas this is west of the city of Guatemala itself by, I think it's about 70 or 80 kilometers, something like that. Fairly close, but not in a position to endanger the city in any way. Too much stuff in the way. Anyway, as you can see, it is sunset time there, and they do have some clouds. The clouds were basically in there till earlier this morning. We did see that it was a little bit clearer, and there you go, 9:27 a.m. You can see a little bit of a plume of a gassy material coming out, but not a heck of a lot since its last big eruption a couple of weeks back now. We haven't seen much coming out of it. The occasional glow at night from the top of the caldera, but not seeing anything really major coming out like it used to. And I think it basically cleared its pipes and lost that ability to throw stuff out. That, of course, 7:08 a.m. for our wonderful Fuego in Guatemala. Let's put that back to live. That's the current shot. So we'll make that one smaller. Go to the next picture. This, of course, is a Messiah volcano. You can see the caldera, so we're in a caldera while looking into the first section of the caldera, then the second section. So the first section is quite a ways down, then the second is even further. We know there's active lava down in the bottom of this, but we don't see it. I'm going to refresh, see if it, don't fall down in there. There is the lava glow in that caldera, but because it's so smoky, it looks a little on the grayish side rather than the golden stuff we like. Anyway, we'll leave that guy be, and we'll go to our next one, and that is, of course, Lascar. And we can see Lascar wasn't doing too much. This is just at sunset their time. And we didn't see a heck of a lot happening there other than it getting darker. So we'll leave that. And this video, you can only see a little bit of snow on occasion, and that is, of course, Laguna del Male. And unfortunately, the pictures aren't very good. And our Via Rica cam apparently did not pick anything up, so we'll leave that be. Before I leave this page, I'll leave this one, go to this one, and I kind of throw this out there for you. Popocatepetl volcano in Mexico, rapid decrease in a tremor, tremor, and that is what we're seeing there. So it is still throwing out stuff on occasion, but it's definitely gone downward. And let's see if we can make that bigger. There you can see the shot of the volcano. This was from the 31st at 2054, and that is not a bad shot, although it is in black and white. It does say glowing steam emissions at Popocatepetl volcano in the evening of the 31st of May 2023. Let's see, what else we got? This one is from the 30th, and you look at the difference in ash and quality of the plume, and there you go. This one was a vigorous volcanian explosion from Popocatepetl on May 30th. So pretty nice to see that. And here's a satellite image. This, of course, is from May 31st. The active lava dome within the summit crater as seen from space. And space, the final frontier. To boldly go where no volcano has gone before. We do see that lava in there, so definitely worthy of having a look. And here's your chart indicating the decline in tremor activity. And you take a look here. It didn't take long for it to shut down. And that is, you know, it went from up here down to this level and down here, and then boom, hitting a rock bottom. So definitely on the downgrade, if you will. What's it say here? The high frequency tremor signals has been decreased significantly over the last 24 hours. Seismic records registered 11 minutes of amplitude tremor over the last 24 hours associated with 219 emissions of light amounts of ash and occasional incandescent fragments. The volcanic activity continues at the summit event at weakened levels, but still remains above long-term average values. Ash plumes continue to reach nearly the same altitude of about 19,000 to 20,000 feet, or 5,800 to 6,100 meters, and drifting south. So that is what we got. I'm not going to read the rest of that report, but that is all good. And that wraps up our stuff there for Popocatepetl and all of that nice stuff. And we do like seeing the volcano doing its thing. So all cool. Let's go over to our next one, and that will be Merapi. And we'll get that on the screen. I'm already not liking Merapi. Merapi doesn't look too happy there, being all white. Let's see if we can find. Oh, I gotta make that one smaller. There we go. And hide that chat. We don't need that. Okay, good. I'm trying to keep up with this. Where is Merapi? It looks all the same. Here we go. And yeah, volcano gray, or a rain cloud gray, however you want to depict it. If we go back 2 hours and 15 minutes approximately, we can see it a little bit better. And I'm not sure if there was anything emanating from it at that point in time. We'll go back a little bit more. I know there were some spots there where we did see a little bit of lava, and we'll see if we can bring a couple of those on, like right around here, and we'll make that just a little bigger so you can see that lava rolling down the hill. Unfortunately, they're showing it in the black and white mode. But still, at least we get to see the traveling bacon down the side of that mountain, still hitting that 1 kilometer mark from up at the top down to where most of this effusive lava ends up sitting. And that is what we've got there. And let's see, what else we got? Go back a little bit more. Here's a nice big one. Let's see if we can show this one. This is a little larger eruption. It's like a multiple, and we'll show that as it flowed down the hill. Pretty cool. And I got a drink of Pepsi here. Hang on. So yeah, that does look nice. I think I'd still love to see somebody put a drone up in the air and have it just hover right around here somewhere, and looking down at that lava flow. I think that'd be so cool. And I know they allow drones, so hopefully we'll see more of that. Now you can see how that lava is fanning out because of the amount of lava that's already sat there and cooled off and spread out. filling up those craters, or not craters, canyons actually, that we've mentioned multiple times before. But you see how far that's flowing down the hill. So that's getting quite a ways. That 1 kilometer mark is somewhere around here from the top down to this point. So when you're seeing it flow beyond this area, you know you're getting more than a kilometer of lava being stretched out there. Pretty awesome to see, and it definitely lights it up quite a ways. And we had a few more of those. I think we'll go back and take a look at another one or two, and then we will switch over to the other volcanoes. Let's take a look at this one, and here it is, 3:50 a.m. You're seeing a bunch of that lava sliding down the hill, and by the way, you notice how well lit that is. That is because of the moon getting in there and doing its thing. So pretty awesome. And I think there was another plume to come out of that, a little larger area. Let's see if we can expedite this, and we'll maybe find it. Yeah, maybe not. No, I think we're good for now. And yeah, the rest is pretty much cloudy, really hard to see for the most part. So we'll leave Merapi be, and Merapi did make us kind of happy. Let's go to our next one. I want to make that a little bigger, and make this bigger, and this is Mount Ruapehu. Well, no, it's not. That's a bunch of clouds. Let's see if we can find it. Going back a bunch of hours, 4 hours and 15 minutes or so. Nope, still no visibility. And if we go back even further, 5.5 hours ago, still no visibility. All right, well, I guess we're not going to see our wonderful Ruapehu today. It's being stubborn. Let's go to our next shot. I have to refresh this, and then we will talk about seismicity there on the northern island of New Zealand. And we see a spike in here, so some kind of a small quake, and then another one here. So nothing really super major going on there as far as activity, but it is continuing, even though it has calmed down quite a bit. The other sensor further to the north, it's pretty quiet itself, so that is kind of what we're seeing there. Not much to do with that. We'll put it back on the other one, and we'll have a quick look and see if they have their camera working today. And I wanted to see the flea market. There it is. They're selling fleas and cars today. It's a car market. You want to buy a car? This is the place to go. Get there, and get there quickly. This is happening now. This is live from New Zealand. You too could be the owner of one of those fantastic hot rods that are up for sale. I have no idea if they're selling them or not, but sure sounded good, didn't it? Anyway, that is pretty cool, pretty awesome, and I hope they have more of those. I was hoping that they'd have a flea market there rather than the car show. But hey, cars are always cool, and we like them. There seems to be a fair amount of people there as well. So pretty awesome to see that. It's a Saturday there. Yeah, it is. It is definitely Saturday, and that is pretty awesome. It is in the future. It's the 3rd there at 1:58 p.m. according to the clock. Anyway, nice to see that. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. And yeah, we see that Mustang just pulled in. There's a Corvette there. Looks like an old Dodge product sitting there. Another Mustang there. Another Dodge there. I'm not recognizing all of these, but it looks like there's another Mustang. Can't tell what that is. There's some pretty cool cars though. We like them. And gas guzzlers, Full Circle Florida, welcome. And welcome to our new hobby. We're selling cars. I'm kidding. Anyway, we are not able to see Mount Ruapehu in the background. It's just got a little bit too much cloud over top of it. It should be just right behind this area right in here where that whiter cloud is. And I'm not seeing too much. You notice some white caps on the lake, and that means it's awful windy. We know, though, that lake is actually the caldera for Taupo, and it is a huge area, and I hope that thing never erupts. Anyway, this wonderful shot brought to you courtesy of Suncourt Conference, Suncourt Hotel and Conference Center there in our wonderful New Zealand, Northern Island. All right, let's make that smaller, and we will continue on with our next shot. And I'm not sure. It is showing. Okay. Getting on to this one. Everybody knows that this is a Semeru, and a Semeru is looking not bad. There's a closer up a picture of the caldera area and the avalanche area, where of course we're seeing some of that wonderful dust and debris falling down. It is the top of the hour. It is indeed. I'm going to actually leave it on here, you guys, so you have something slightly different to watch. It is 8 a.m. there, so enjoy that. I'm going to go take a break. For those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please give it a quick bop. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. I will be back in 5, 6, or 7 minutes. Don't go away. I'm your host, DrFox2000. Hit the like button. Thanks. microphone is back on. Hang on, I'm gonna cough. Oh, darn it. It's a Murphy's Law thing, you know, and it happens. Anyway, there we go. So, yeah, I'm watching this kind of a dusty affair there at our wonderful Semeru for right now, and you can see the cloud just sitting down on the bottom waiting to cover it up. Thank you for the welcome backs from, pardon me, Full Circle Florida and Sue, and thank you Mona and Hermione and Fluffy, and that is awesome. So yeah, kind of interesting viewpoint there. If we go back in time, they did have it zoomed in for a little while here for, I guess, watching some of that material flow down the hill. So this is what they had at a length before, and then of course they zoomed in. They seen the puffy activity up top, and that might have been what triggered their stuff. Let's see if we can advance it a little bit here as they zoomed in and did a bunch of zooming, looking to see what is coming down that canyon, and looks like just some dusty ash and tephra chunks of lava. You can see right where the mouse is there seems to be a build-up right there, and hopefully it'll focus again, and well, maybe it won't, but right in here seems to be a heck of a build-up. You can kind of see an edge on there, and then of course smaller chunks of lava, you know, stuff that's kind of ground down. Let's see if they fix the screen here. If we go ahead a few seconds. Oh yeah, they're working on it. You can see with some of those plumes coming up. Oh, come on, you guys. Focus. Focus, focus. Hocus pocus magic. No, it didn't work. Darn it. Anyway, they zoom back out a little bit more. There we go. They finally got it in focus. And yeah, that is a little bit better. You can see some of that tephra coming down the hill, so pretty awesome. Anyway, that is it for Semeru. Prior to that, we did see some shots where, you know, there was a little bit of lava glow, and you can see it did make it down to here, or came out down at that point. You never know. If we go back just a little bit further, you'll see that the clouds will start moving in, and of course you see that. Unfortunately, we didn't see when that happened, and if we go back a little bit further, poof, in the clouds. So that is kind of it for Semeru today. Unfortunately, nothing really super exciting happening there. It's quiet on the volcano front. So we'll leave that guy be, and we will put, yeah, that is back on live, and I want to see if we have okay, a Yellowstone frozen camera. I'll have to refresh that and see what the heck it's doing, and we'll play that one. Okay, I got a Yellowstone working again. We'll have a quick peek there, and try to straighten that out just a tiny bit. Oh, close enough. Looks like it might be raining there. I see those sidewalks are wet. So yeah, go figure, eh? Geysers and rain together. What a mix. They opened the sidewalk back up over here that was closed for a couple of days, so that is all good. And I'm not going to see Yellowstone's favorite old faithful today, but that is all right. We don't need to look at it every time. Let's just remind everyone, if you haven't got this site, Sue did type in the shortcut there, Yellowstone, and you are welcome to go to the site and bookmark it It does have this embedded video, as well as all kinds of neat maps and locations of all the 500, well, not all of them, but there are over 500 geysers there, and they definitely are showing a lot of them at a lot of different times. Like down in the forefront there, you could see whatchamacallit there, the beehive right there on the bottom left corner. And of course, I'm not sure, is that steamboat in the background here? Could be, but that is interesting. You'll have to look at the map and find out and make sure. We'll leave that be. That is nice to see. I feel sorry for the people who built the sidewalks. I wonder if there's still any around. I have no idea. But they take care of that. Oh, we're not going there next. We're going here next. I'm sure they were okay when they built those sidewalks. Trying to find Japan. There it is. Okay, this is, of course, our Sakurajima, and that is in Japan. That is a beautiful shot. It's not doing a heck of a lot. We do see it off-gassing. If we go back in time a little bit, a few hours, this is about an hour ago, and you see it was about the same. If we go back to about a 3-hour mark, let's see, there we go. We can see some birds flying around, and of course it continuing to off-gas. It hasn't erupted any heavy material as of late, but it is continuing to smoke and throw out a lot of SO2. So that is something that we will bear in mind. And of course, this gets us right into the darkness, and beautiful sight, but nothing major happening there. So not much we can do. Let's see, the moonlight, will the moonlight light it up? I think it might. There you go. Now there you see something kind of interesting. Some of those gases are hugging the ground. That is different. I wonder if there's extra weight to the gases, larger chunks or something, but that is kind of cool. Makes you wonder, and hopefully we'll see something nice happening there in the future. Let's go have a quick peek and see if the ice cream boat is there. Yes, it is. You can go down and get your ice cream if you need it. Oh, it was there. You can also get your Rice Krispie cookies. But that'd be interesting. Ice cream, Mona's off and running. Excellent, Mona. While we're here, let's have a quick close-up shot of the caldera, or as they call it, the crater cam. And that is not bad. Let's see if we can find a spot where it's really, really clear. Well, really not that clear, because some of that gas was pluming towards the camera. And there you can see that bottom smaller vent over here. It definitely was puffing out a little bit of stuff, but nothing crazy. And then if we go back a bunch more, we do see the camera trying to focus, and some birds over there flying around. Pretty awesome. And of course still continuing to steam. And there we go. Let's make those smaller. Ice cream boat is still there, and I think it'll be okay for a bit. You can head on down if you haven't done that already. Next volcano on our agenda is not showing up so well. We are supposed to be seeing it. It's right in here, and that is of course one of the islands with a Suwanoshijima on it. And yeah, it looks like a pretty rough water there too. Let's see. Yeah, not gonna see it. it's still in the foggy stuff, so we'll leave that guy be. And yeah, you can see those white caps every once in a while, some bigger waves coming through there. Pretty awesome. Let's make that smaller. Next volcano on our list, of course, in Japan as well, and that is Aso. And of course, this is the one caldera, or sorry, vent. And we are inside the caldera. The caldera is actually huge, but this particular area here is the active vent within the system. As you can see, it's throwing out all kinds of gassy material. And you got to remember, this thing acts like a bowl. Every time it rains, it fills up with a little bit more water, and of course that water is being heated by the floor area within the that vent area. And when it does that, of course, turns to steam. But it is also producing SO2 gas in the process. So very neat to see that. If we go back in time a little bit, a couple hours ago, doing about the same thing, really nothing different. We'll go back to the 4-hour mark, and there's just after a sunrise. So pretty cool. We'll leave that be. I'm going to put that back on live and make that one smaller. Let's go to the next one, and this is Asama volcano. Now Asama, it's kind of hit and miss with being able to tell what's coming out of there, but unless we go back a bit, this is about an hour and a half ago, and that is what we were seeing. So definitely continuing to plume off some gases and SO2, and it looks like we've got a kind of a column going all the way up. You can see that bluish gray patch up there. And yeah, nice to see it coming straight out. Let's see if we can spot it anywhere else here during the course of the night. I don't think there are too many spots here where it really showed any activity. You do see a little bit right there, and that is 11 minutes after 3 a.m. One Fish 26 throws in a gift membership. That is the first one for today, and thank you kindly, One Fish. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Well, a gentleman anyway. Well, hang on, you're a fish. You can't be a gentleman if you're a fish. Anyway, thank you very kindly, and congratulations to Raymond Betzler on getting that wonderful membership for a month. Awesome. And yep, Claire's saying off for her beauty sleep. I wish I could go have a nap. I feel like one right now. I'm not tired. This work stuff wears a guy out, you know, when you work for a living. Oh, I have to stretch and do that while I'm doing the show here. So anyway, that is Asama-san, and that is about 100 kilometers to the west of Tokyo, and we'll leave it there. And let's make that smaller again, and we'll double check. Our ice cream boat is not left yet, so I hope everybody got their ice cream. And we will leave that wonderful area in a second or two. I want to see if we have anything going on at Stromboli, perhaps, if the cameras are showing. Nope, we are not going to see a Stromboli. Their cameras are not online. I do have a Volcano there, but you can't see anything there. And we can go over to Mount Etna, though. So let's leave our wonderful Japan, and we're going to make that a little bit smaller. There we go. Hit that magic button. And now we will go over to Sicily, Italy, and there it is. Isn't that a beautiful view? No, of course it is. Let's back up a bunch. and see if we can spot it somewhere amongst those clouds. And that seems to be the difficult factor as of late with being able to see this particular volcano. And of course, that is Mount Etna. We are seeing a little bit of a pluming up in the top. The rest, we can't tell what it's doing. It does look like there's still some pretty heavy snow up there. If we go back a little bit more, I'm hoping that we can see something. That's a better shot, and that came in at 1954, or just about 8 p.m. You can definitely see some off-gassing from the primary vent up top, and you can see some off-gassing over here as well. And that is interesting. I don't know what the heck is going on, but the other one that we can't see is the southeast pond there, or southeast crater. It's on the back side of this view, so that is what we've got there. And of course, earlier it was a battle of cloud to try to be able to see it, and as you can see there, it's just no good. And going back a little further, yep, definitely. Actually looks like an ocean wave crashing in right there, doesn't it? That's kind of freaky looking. But let's leave that be. Looks like they might have had some rain there too. But anyway, that's kind of what we've got for our wonderful Mount Etna. Going to make that one smaller, and let's head over to our next place of fun. Everybody's falling asleep. It must be my voice. My voice is making you all sleepy. My voice is even making me sleepy today. I want to go have a nap. I know, I'm running a show. How can I have a nap? Well, you guys can wake me up in a few minutes, even 20 minutes. Anyway, no, I'm not going to go have a nap. Kamchatka Peninsula had a 4.2 from 1525, and that is from today 35 kilometers down for that guy. We'll keep going here, and we'll look at some of the other ones. I don't see anything new on Tanaga Island, and there it is there. Don't see much on the other ones either. We'll zoom back out. We do see a brand new quake there, 3.5. Perryville is the closest location there. 1856 is the time on that, and that is 10 kilometers down. Sliding down the coast though, looking for more earthquakes. I see some in odd places. We of course have this 3.6 or 3.9 in the bottom end of Wyoming, Saratoga, and that happened at 2:14 a.m., 15.4 kilometers down. And then we had another one here in Colorado, 3.0, and that is from 1828, 6.2 kilometers down for him. Carrying on, going down the coast to 4.3 near Nicaragua, 9:13 a.m., 47.7 kilometers down. And this one is 4.4 off the central coast of America. And yeah, that's actually on the fault between the Cocos plate and the is it Naztec plate, if I got it right. Boy, I can't think today. Anyway, continuing on, Peru had a 4.3 from 1849, 184 kilometers down for him. And then we had a 4.6, and that came in at 1258, 203.7 kilometers down for that. Argentina, a 4.9, 1811 is the time on that, 37.9 kilometers down. Next one, out here in the South Sandwich Islands, 5.1, and came in at 942, 29.6 kilometers down for that guy. Looking at what's happening in New Zealand, I don't see anything new. It's all getting old stuff there. And moving up into Tonga, there we have 5.1 from 1139, 77.8 kilometers down for that one. This next one is considered in Fiji, and that is 1608, 527 kilometers down, so quite deep. And then we've got this guy here, 4.6, 10 a.m., 535 kilometers down for that quake. Moving over, Loyalty Island region, we're still seeing more quakes there. We've got a 5.0 from yesterday at 22:31, 10 kilometers down. A 4.9 from today at 9:53 a.m. and that is 10 clicks down. Next one is another 4.9 from 5:46 a.m., 22.4 kilometers down for that. Going up here, and Vanuatu area, 4.8, 7:53 a.m., 32.9 kilometers down. Papua New Guinea had 4.8 from 4:26 a.m., 10 clicks down for him. And looking at the, is it Banda Sea, Timor-Leste area? Anyway, 4.5 from 1557, 364 kilometers down. Next one is this one, 4.8, and that is on the Sumatra Island area. Let's see where that is in relationship to a volcano. Well, the volcano would be over here, and that is to the south. So 4.8, 8:16 a.m., 157.4 kilometers down. And let's see what else we got. Looks like Guam region, 5.2 from yesterday, 23:25, 10 kilometers down for him. And we don't see anything directly in Japan. We do have that little 4.4 in the Coral Islands, and that came in at 9:13, 67.7 kilometers down for him. I know it's a break time. There's only a couple of quakes left, so we'll take a quick look for them. And of course, this is just at the bottom end of Crete, the western side. So Piggy would likely not have felt that. That is a 4.1, 7:23 a.m., and 52 kilometers down for that guy. What we'll do is go take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's happening here in our wonderful Hawaiian island, the big island of Hawaii. Don't go away, you guys. And boy, there's more typing, all kinds of typing from C&D Boy, scaring the people away. Fluffy is sleeping on your bed. Okay, Hermione. Anyway, for those good people who are here, if you haven't yet hit that like button, give it a quick bop, help us out. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you're enjoying the show, consider subscribing if you feel we've earned it. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000. Boy, I really can't talk today. I'm tired, that's why. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I will be back in 5 or 6 or 7 minutes if I don't fall asleep. Here's some music. And the microphone is back on before I fall asleep. Huh? Oh, put a brick underneath there. Ask Wonky Donkey for a brick there, Sue. That'll help stabilize it. And hey, it's Sharon Stewart. Good to see you, Sharon. And thank you, Sue, for the welcome back. And Full Circle Florida said, put the cat away and all of the chickens too. Let the piggies out. Here comes the fox. Yeah, awesome. And I hear you, DrFox2000. From Sharon Stewart. Good to have you on board, Sharon. And just dropping in, listening and cooking. Okay, cool, Kathy. And let's see. What can we do here? Let's park this lava. And we'll go back over to our earthquake map. And let's take a look at what's happening on the big island of Hawaii. While I was taking my power nap. Reading about the ship collision. There was 13 people on a small Singaporean freighter, and then the other one was a Turkish freighter with about 19 people on board. And apparently the Turkish one got broadsided by the Singaporean one, and I don't think they understand how to. They got them right in the middle, so I just shake my head at it. I just wonder how these guys end up with these kind of issues. Somebody's just not paying attention. You know, if you're in charge of driving your car down the road, don't you turn the wheel every once in a while to make sure you're staying on the road? And same thing goes for a ship. You just don't walk away from the controls. So I am just a little bit baffled. But what do you do when that happens? Anyway, let's take a look at some of the quakes here in the Pahala region. I'm just going to go over them just to measure a size. There's a 1.8 there. There's a 2.3, 2.7. This is all in the Pahala area. 2.4, 2.1. The latest one there is a 2.0. And then we got another 2.1, 2.3, and 2.0. So all of these quakes happen within the last 24 hours. And looking over at the other area here around Kilauea, which is right in here, we do see some sizable ones. That one's a 3, 6.5 kilometers down. This one is a 1.7, 3.6 kilometers down. This one a 1.8, and that's only 1.6 kilometers down. Next one 1.2, and that is a 1.3 kilometers down. This one is a 1.8, 700 meters down, which is nice. 2.0 from 1.3 clicks down. Then we've got this one here, 1.6 kilometers down for that 1.7, and larger 2.4 over here, 3.6 kilometers down for that. And then we got a 1.9, 3.5 clicks down. We've got a 1.7, 4.5 clicks down. 2.1, 4.8 kilometers down. And a 1.9 from 2.6 kilometers down. Small 0.7, 4.4 kilometers down. And another, that's a 0.7. This is a 1.7 from 2.8 kilometers down. So nothing really crazy, and I kind of have to wonder. There's a 1.1 from 7 kilometers down. So the further away they are, it seems like the deeper they are, but nothing really crazy going on there yet. I'm hoping that we'll see something pop out of that. But for right now, that's it for our quakes there, and we'll leave the quake map be, and we'll go over to our SO2 map. And I just wanted to peek at Popocatepetl. Popocatepetl is back to throwing out a black dark ash. Oop, wrong one. This one here. And there you can see it. That is from 1948, current time, so that is live. So Popo is not stopping, it is continuing. And nice to see a little bit of activity come out of there. That sounds fishy. What happened? The ship that was hit was apparently headed for Ukraine. Coincidence. Hit by, I wonder, by someone from Singapore. That does sound a little fishy. Anyway, let's carry on here. SO2 map. I have that somewhere. Let's find it. There it is. We'll refresh and make sure it's current. And there we go. We'll start out on the Kamchatka Peninsula. Looks like less activity up here by Shivelish. More activity down here by Karimsky. Not sure what's actually, because that's right in the middle. I don't know if that drifted up a little bit or what. But that's what we're seeing right there. Not that it matters which volcano is coming from, but it's picked up pace a little bit. Looking at the other areas, forest fires up here in northern Alberta, throwing out a lot of SO2. Looks like the rest of the country isn't too bad. We are still seeing some plumes here from Nova Scotia. Hope they've got a little bit more stuff happening. It might be a Klyushevskoy, but I really don't know up there. It's hard to say the way that was situated there, Sue. But you never know. Anyway, how's your forest fires? I hope they're getting them under control. We see a lot of SO2 coming from that area. And sliding down a little bit more, of course, that is from Popocatepetl, putting out a lot of SO2 there. And that is also from Mexico City. So we see that, but it seems that we've got more SO2 coming from Nicaragua as well. And I have to wonder, because we know over here, Guatemala will have Fuego and what's the other one? Starts with S. Oh boy. I forgot which other volcano was there. Darn it. Santiaguito. Anyone remember that? Anyway, okay, I did. It took a little bit to find it in the brain files, but I did. Anyway, that is adding a pretty good amount of SO2 between the three of them, so pretty wild. Not so much coming from Nevado del Ruz. The rest of everybody looks pretty quiet. Three still contaminated, 15 others, uncontained, 15 others are still burning, but not as bad as the other three. Okay, thanks, Sue. And uncontained, there we go. I got it. And uncontaminated. They got bugs. Roasted bugs. Anyway, we are still seeing Chilean places here dumping some of that SO2 into Argentina. Not too bad though, it could be worse. Going over here, we are seeing our stuff from White Isle volcano. A little heavier stuff coming from the refineries there near Melbourne, and of course Sydney. The coking plants to the north of Sydney. Now, this is a little confusing. I wonder what the heck is going on here. Did we have something else happen there at Tofua? Because we are seeing a pretty long plume. This plume here, I think, may have been the residual stuff from that previous thing we seen before, as it circulated around or didn't get wiped out yet. But this, to me, looks like we've got something happening. Either Tofua or Hungatunga Hunga Ha'apai has put out a little bit of SO2. We'll definitely see what will happen in the future there. And looking at Vanuatu, we do have Yasur down on the bottom, and Gawa and Aoba on the top end here doing their thing. Pretty normal for Papua New Guinea. Luotolok still pluming away. That thing's got a lot of SO2. And Semeru making this plume. This darker area probably responsible is, the responsible volcanoes are probably Merapi. And then, of course, here we see high levels of SO2. Two culprits, Jakarta, the city, as well as our wonderful Krakatau. And then we move up here. Kerinci, what is it? Kerinci and Marapi. And then over here we're seeing from our other wonderful volcano called Sinabang. Moving over, we see the levels are cranked up a whole bunch from our Ibu and Dakono, so they're giving off a lot of SO2. And looking here at Mayon and Bulusan doing their thing. Taal is putting out a bit, but I'm not sure how much. And then, of course, the rest of the areas, human pollution. Taiwan, a pretty bad polluter. And, of course, China, very bad at polluting as well. And looking here, trying to see that heavier area in this vicinity is from Suwanoshi-jima. This, of course, is from Sakura-jima. Definitely cranked it up. Hardly anything from Aso, and we do see a little bit of an increase in the level here, but very light in all considerations. Let's go over here, and Tokyo area. We do see a little bit of a heavier area in the back here. That's likely from Asama. Asama-san is definitely still off-gassing. Let's move over a little bit more. See, India is pretty normal. South Africa is still pretty normal as well with their gold smelting. And then our Goma 1 and 2 here in DR Congo doing fairly well. And then Urta Ale would be in this area. Definitely a little bit of an increase. Hard to tell, though, with all that extra pollution from the oil refineries from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, and Iran. So that's what we've got there. Not seeing too much. It's fairly nice there in Piggy's backyard. Not bad levels anyway. And then we look over here, and that is from Mount Etna. So Mount Etna still producing a fairly large amount of SO2. And not seeing so much coming from Stromboli or Volcano, but definitely from Etna. And let's see, what else we got? It looks pretty good in Spain, Portugal, France, a little bit there, Germany a little bit. Holland looks pretty clean. Denmark looking really good, and then of course you look at Norway, Sweden, and Finland. They're okay too. England really not that bad. A little bit up here in Scotland, and looking at our wonderful Iceland, we don't see any. So that is it for our SO2 report for today, and we'll take a break, and then after the break, we will come back and do our weather, whether we want to or not. Oh, look where Mawar is. And I'm surprised this hasn't hit land. It's basically skirted along the Japanese islands and now is up in the facing Tokyo. So pretty cool. A volcano report. Yes, let's do that. We can do that real quick, and we'll leave that on the screen here. Volcano report. Sorry, Sue, I'm tired, so I've been forgetting things. I just want to say thank you, Grandma B, for that wonderful super chat. Grandma B, and I'm just writing that down. Thank you very kindly, Grandma B. That is very kind of you for helping out. Yeah, it's not long. I see that, Sue. We got 3 from last night. 7 Kaya, sporadic puffs to 25,000 feet, 7,600 meters at 22:30. Ibu on Halmahera Island, Indonesia, volcanic ash to 8,000 feet or 2,400 meters, 22:45. And of course, we might as well stay on that same island. Dukono also had about volcanic ash observed to 7,000 feet or 2,100 meters at 2,300. So those two are right together, and we looked at that on the SO2 map, and they were putting out fairly good amounts of SO2. For Friday, we had 6 volcanoes. Semeru, East Java, volcanic ash to 15,000 feet or 4,600 meters, reported at 30 minutes after midnight. Karangatang and Api Siau Island, North Indonesia, volcanic ash observed to 7,000 feet, 2,100 meters, reported at 1 a.m. Reventador in Ecuador, new volcanic ash to 14,000 feet, or 4,300 meters, reported at 1 a.m. Luotalak, Lesser Sunda Island, Indonesia, volcanic ash to 7,000 feet, or 2,100 meters, reported at 2:30. And 7 Kaya in Peru, sporadic puffs to 24,000 feet, or 7,300 meters, reported at 4:30 a.m. And intermittent puffs, intermittent emissions to 24,000 feet, 7,300 meters, reported at 14:30. And Popocatepetl in Mexico, and new volcanic ash seen in satellite imagery, and what is it? A Volcat alert to 18,000 feet or 5,500 meters, reported at 10:15 a.m. and we went through that other report as well. So that is it for the volcano report, and it was very short, so thank you very kindly for that. Sue, I do appreciate you sending that in and reminding me. And let's do our next thing. I'm going to go take that break. Please hang in there, and we'll come back with the weather. I'm going to condense it just a little bit, though. I am getting way too tired, and I really do need to rest. Just a few more days, Bob, for the new eye. The next eye. I hope you do well with that one as well, Grandma B. Anyway, here's some music. Don't go away. We'll be back with the weather after the break. If I don't fall asleep first, I'll be back. Okay, what are you up to, Bob? You are not gonna trap me and then cut me up and eat me. It doesn't work that way. Uh, oh my God, what is going on here? Anyway, yeah, you do, Bob. You talk too much. Uh, what? Oh my God, he's zipping his lip. Okay, thank you for the welcome backs, Sue and Mona, and that's all cool. Yeah, we got a pick on Bob. Yeah. Anyway, let's park the lava here, and we're gonna make this weather really short. And I am absolutely tired. I've been during the break here. I just keep yawning almost continuously, and I've had a good swig of Pepsi trying to keep myself awake. It's not working. Anyway, Alaska looks a little cooler. I'm not going to worry about it. Same thing with up here in the Yukon. Northwest Territories still looking pretty warm. That warmer air is still going into Nunavut. British Columbia looking like they had a wonderful day today, and we are seeing some temps up to 26, 28 degrees, depending on where you are there. So pretty awesome. We know it's about 21 degrees here in Edmonton, with a low humidity. And Grandma B, I'd love to share that with you, but I need that water to evaporate off the roof. Looks pretty normal in Saskatchewan. Looks like Winnipeg is still sitting at the higher temperatures here with 26, and then they've got up to 28, 29, even a 30 in there somewhere. So that is pretty cool, or warm actually. Toronto coming in at about 25, 26. And we see that it's not bad down on the bottom end of Ontario. Going over, looks like it's cold air being blown in from the northeast there into New Brunswick, and they are seeing 6 or 7 degrees for the most part. Sue's place, well, I don't know what Cole Harbour is, maybe about 12 or so. 10 in Halifax. Did you bring yours up, Sue? I missed it. I did see 10 degrees in Cole Harbour. There we go. That is all good. And yeah, Grandma B, thanks for bringing yours up there at 21 degrees. It says 22 here, but hey, that's pretty close. Not going to worry about it. Miami coming in at 26, Orlando about 25. Here's that other storm. It has developed. Arlene is her name, and she is in the Gulf of Mexico. Not sure where Arlene is going yet, but it is there. Hopefully it's not going to go anywhere crazy. Death Valley coming in at some incredible temperatures again. We are seeing up to a 39. I thought I seen a 40 in here. Yeah, there it is. A 40 as well for Death Valley. So some pretty high temps. Hopefully everything will be okay. Thank you for punching those in. 38 is the registered temperature. We see 33 there in Mexicali, 32 in Phoenix, and going over San Antonio 26, Houston 28, Austin 26, Dallas coming in at 28. Going up to Oklahoma City, we see they've got that mixed air again, likely stormy stuff going on there. Same thing with the northern bit of Texas here. So hopefully they're okay, but 26 degrees, nice there. New Orleans 27 right now, and we got Miami at 25, Orlando at 25. And there's Arlene, and hopefully she'll behave. Cancun at 25, Mexico City at 24, sliding down a bit more. I'm not going to worry about those other ones. Up to 29, 30 there, still in Colombia's lower mainland. And the jungle 24 to 27 degrees in most places there. And we'll call it in South America for general purposes. Little cold there in Rio de Janeiro, 19, Sao Paulo only 14. We do see that warmth did extend back down into Argentina here, and 20 in Buenos Aires, and Paysandú sitting at 19, so not that bad for them. Looks cold there in the bottom of Argentina. Going over to New Zealand really quickly, Christchurch only 11 degrees. Winter is coming 13 there in Wellington. Hastings coming in at 15. Taupo coming in at about 11 degrees. And looking at Auckland, about 15 for them. Going over, looking at Hobart, only 10 degrees. Yeah, not much warmer around the coastal areas. 13, 14 there in Melbourne, and we're seeing 20 in Adelaide, 18 and 19 in Sydney, and home of Oz sitting at about 22, 23 degrees. Really nice. Warmest temperature looks like about 31 degrees there in Australia right now. Going to skip all these. They're all pretty much normal. Going over to Bangkok, looking at 31, 32 degrees there. Singapore coming in at about 28. Manila being somewhere around 30-ish, 30, 31. Yeah, 32. That sounds good, Sue, for those guys there. And of course, with Ma War there, you'd figure it'd be a little bit cooler, but 25 in Kagoshima, 19 there in Tokyo. Kamchatka Peninsula warm on the western side, cold on the eastern side. India really quite hot. Delhi at 27. Jakarta sitting at 30. South Africa very cold. South Central trying to warm up. And of course we are seeing up to about 35 degrees Celsius in the Sahara Desert right now. UAE and Saudi Arabia coming in about 34 as the peak temp. So that's okay. And Piggy's place. Piggy has got about 19 degrees. And hopefully that'll be okay for her. I don't know if that's pretty close to what it is, but 18, well, 18, 19, it's not that far off. 16 over there in Athens. Rodanzo coming in at about 9 degrees, 10 degrees maybe, so that should be okay for those guys. And yeah, Rome coming in at 17, 18 in Naples. And yeah, Milano is sitting at about 18, so that is okay. Spain, not that warm. Madrid, 15 still. Lisbon, 16, going up. And looking at Paris real quick, 12. Nantes at 14. Munich at 12. Frankfurt coming in at 12. Cologne, 13. Yvonne's place about 12 there as well. Amsterdam 12, Brussels 12, Berlin 8, Hamburg about 9 or 10, Copenhagen for Thor about 9 degrees right now. Aarhus coming in about 7, Oslo 7, Stockholm 8, and we see a 5 or 6 there in St. Petersburg, and then about 10 in Moscow. Going over, let's see if we can find England. London is about 9 degrees there, and Leeds about 7. Looks like the coastal area of Wales a little bit warmer. Glasgow is 9, Aberdeen coming in at 9. And we see Dublin as a 9, and about 12 or so over there on the other side. Thank you, Sue. And looking real quick here, Reykjavik 10 degrees right now. It says 11. Yeah, that's pretty close. 10, 11. I'll live with that. That is a nice temperature for them. That's very balmy and warm. Let's change this to precipitation. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this either. We do see some snow falling up in Alaska, some rain up in the Yukon, rain in British Columbia along the coast. They are definitely getting some. That wonderful rainforest is definitely still getting that stuff here in the Queen Charlotte Islands. A little bit in the foothills of Alberta. Then we see some stuff in Saskatchewan, northern Ontario, and a mixed bag of weather there for Sue in Halifax. Some rain, which is really needed to put out those forest fires, would be real nice there. And we see that is all drifting down from the north. So hopefully that is all, well, it's getting all the way down to past Boston here, almost into New York. Quick peek, we see storms in Montana and storms in northern Texas and Oklahoma. We do have Arlene down here in the Gulf, and we have other stormy stuff happening in Cuba and those areas, and the Caribbean for the most part. Don't go there if you want to go on a vacation. Go somewhere nicer. Looks like not that much rain in South America. Most of it being confined to Venezuela. Looks like some Argentinian weather there, south of Buenos Aires, and the coastline for Chile is definitely getting it. Looks like a little bit drier there in New Zealand, and then we see some spots there in bottom end of Australia, as well as over here. Kind of neat to see that. And of course we see all kinds of different weather from Fiji on into Papua New Guinea. Definitely raining throughout that area. Different areas in the Indonesian area getting rain as well, and looks like pretty nasty around Sumatra all the way around, a little getting further up into Yemen and those places. Manila and the Philippines are definitely getting stormed upon. Southern end of Japan, not bad. Mawar, though, is making a mess for Tokyo. And of course, we have the other storm front or low here in the Kuril Islands. So that is kind of what they're getting. Not enough rain yet in India. They need more. And South Africa looks fairly dry. Coastal areas might be getting a little bit. Central areas are definitely getting nailed. And looks like Piggy may be getting some rain right now. We do see western Turkey getting a bunch of rain, and they probably need it. Looking at Sicily, no rain. A little bit on the top of the boot here of Italy, not that bad. And up in the north along the mountains, and Milano getting some. Looks like we've got a storm here along the mountains in Algeria as well, getting all the way into Morocco. Looks not bad in France, nothing in Germany, nothing in Holland, nothing in Belgium or Denmark. And we see that a mess up here along the Norwegian coastline. And that is also in Sweden as well. So that's what they've got. England looks dry. Ireland, those areas all dry. And the same thing with most of Iceland is doing pretty good too. We are still seeing some stormy stuff off the coast of Greenland, and some snow impacting them. And even up here in Baffin Island, they're getting it, and throughout the Davis Strait. So, yeah, not good. But Arlene is the one to watch for North America. Hopefully that won't be too bad. and hopefully some of this will ease up and just be rain in the U.S. and Saskatchewan as it moves to the east. We'll see what happens. Let's find our coldest temperature real quick, and then I am going to wrap up the show, and I need to get some sleep, and actually I need to get some food too. Bob did mention that I do need to eat, so haven't had supper yet. Anyway, so far we see a minus 80, and let's see, oh, I see a minus 81 right there, minus 81, and the search is on minus 82, and that is pretty cold. Let's see, is there any colder stuff over here? Minus 70s, 78, 83, 86. Okay, and we found minus 86. Do we have an 87? That is incredible. Minus 86 degrees Celsius. Minus 86. Oh, there's a minus 87. Yeah, that is a pretty darn cold. All right, I don't see a minus 80. Oh, there it is, a minus 88. And that is a pretty awesome. Minus 88 degrees Celsius, you guys. That is it. I'm going to stop searching. Minus 88 Celsius. I'm going to freeze my fingers if I look for any more cold temps. Thank you. Sue found minus 88 as well. It's a tie. And that is all awesome. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up real fast here. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sue, for hunting for that cold temp. Appreciate that. And also your efforts always with the volcano reports. I really do appreciate those. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Big thank you goes out to our moderators, Arizona Snowman, and Piggy, and C&D Boy, and Gary 24/7 Live, AZ Skies, as well as Lucas Snow, Joseph Fields, Texas, and Mona Lisa Smiles. Thank you. And that is awesome. And remember, tomorrow is Saturday, so the stream will be on earlier. Yay! And when we'll be able to do our things. And on those notes, I am going to say thank you, everyone, for being here. I want to say a big thank you to OneFish26 for gifting that one membership, and Grandma B for providing that $5 super chat. That's awesome. And thank you very kindly for your support. And we'll see what we can come up with for tomorrow. So be good, be kind, take care of yourselves, everyone. And what I always say at the end of the shows, please, please tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and good night, everyone. Take care and all the best. And thank you for being here. Oink, oink.